So I was not in that mindset of being called grandma. I was too young. I was still living life. I'm living life now, but I was really hustling, bustling back then. I'm not nobody's grandma. I didn't even look like nobody's grandmother.
Yeah.
You guys, on the other hand, are at that age where if you did become
Her grandmas?
I
beg to differ, bitch.
Dontrell's grandmother, everybody used to call her Frankie, and that used to drive me bananas.
But that's you can't let that
I get that, but I wouldn't let him call her that. It's grandma.
That's not right, because what if she liked
Exactly.
No. That's her. See, I would be upset.
No. Say anything about it. It was me and his father that used to argue about that.
That's a problem. And
yeah, it's a problem for me. In my presence, do not call me.
I disagree.
First name.
I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why. That was an unnecessary argument. Hear me out. It was an unnecessary argument. Let me change the tables.
Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Aunties podcast. I am Joe.
I'm Key.
And I'm Jay. And we're here to keep it real,
raw,
and relatable
while sharing our opinions,
experiences,
and feelings.
Let's go. So before we get into our topic, I would like to read some comments from a viewer from one of our previous episodes, okay? And the episode was on, do you have favorite kids? So these comments may have either come from our channel or social media pages, so from a variety of places. So one viewer said they have love and they love and dislike their kids equally for different reasons. So translate that, I love them differently, but I also have dislike for them equally for various reasons, of course, right? And that makes sense to me. One other viewer wrote, my mom had 5 in 2 different generations. So that means that. Says, I believe she loved us equally. In addition, she had her first at 15. At me, her mom was 27 when she had her. Okay. So her siblings, Sibs, she said, calls her the golden child. And she replied, if our mother was the same at 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, then 27, she would have wasted her time. So she got a different mother, and they act like she should have moved like she was when she was 15. She's grown. She evolved.
Yeah.
Of course, she's going to be a different type of mother from 15 than at 27.
Absolutely.
She's still learning something.
Yeah, and you learn differently. You have a different parenting style. I think that's kind of normal for most.
Yeah, but siblings, they can't
see it that way.
And I wonder if she said at 20, I wonder if she was the youngest too, the last child, because the youngest also get that, they're the spoiled child, the parents tapped out and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it could have been a little bit of that too.
Yeah, could have been. It could have been, but 15 to 27 that's
different part.
You would hope that she evolved like she did. Like she did. But to some people don't.
Right.
The same way they rule, So, I mean, I think that's a positive thing. But, of course, like you said, her older siblings probably won't see it that way.
Yeah.
They don't get the same mother. And you should.
You're not
going to get the same.
You're just not. Because you're going to change your parenting style.
Listen, my youngest and my middle and my oldest are 8 and 10 years apart. I was a different mother with her. That's 10 years. When you have kids 3 and 4 years apart, you do things differently.
You also have to look at it like this. At 15, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
She didn't wait. This is the 5th child.
She's 30 years old, 40 years old, don't know what they
had experience now. She knows how to do things differently from the first.
She'll hopefully learn from some of the mistakes she's made.
Exactly. So,
yeah. I think that's fair.
I think it makes sense. But thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for commenting. Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in, commenting, and sharing. Keep them coming. We love it. Yeah, to read the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. And I love them all. Yeah. Okay. So what are we talking about today?
Grandparents and bonding with your grandbabies. Don't be calling me grandma.
Or granny.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of trends where people are not using the traditional terminologies, because some people you have grandma, you have Mima, you had GiGi, Nana, more fancy with it. So I have a question.
I was more of the Mima. Don't call me grandma.
Why?
She already answered the question before I answered. I was like, well, how many of us have grandkids here?
I have 3.
Okay. So we don't have them yet. So you prefer, my question was going to be, what do you prefer them calling you? And you say Mima?
What, Mima? Yeah. My oldest one, she'll be 16 in December. She's always been calling me Mima. Lately, she's been Grandma JoJo. My grandson calls me Grandma, and then the little one is just not calling me nothing yet because she's still getting to know me.
Yeah. She's still young.
But I've gotten more comfortable with the word Grandma versus when she first came along.
Okay. So your first one started with Mima.
Yes.
Started the Mima. Okay. Because that's something I read too when we were looking up this conversation, looking up this topic. The term or whatever variation of grandma is usually driven by the grandchildren today. And it's usually like the first grandchild. And then it kind of trickles down and you get different variations and stuff like that. And the grandparents usually adapt to whatever the grandchild kind of coins them in their grandma terms.
Well, I guess I introduced it. I'm the one that said, no, don't call me Grandma, Mima.
Okay.
So she got used to just saying that. And then in the last year, it's been Grandma JoJo. And I've gotten comfortable with it. I don't get upset.
Well, and it's probably, I'm imagining the reason why it evolved that way for her is because if she's referring to you to someone else, let's say if she's with the father side of the family, she's not going to say, Mima said it. She might say, oh, my Grandma JoJo.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, I don't know. That could have been the way it evolved.
Yeah.
When you do have grandkids, what you want them to call you?
Whatever they choose. Whatever if it's grandma, it's grandma. And I say that because, like, well, for me, I was fortunate and my kids were fortunate to see their 5 generations. Of grandparents, right? I was the first granddaughter. First great-grand and first great-great-grand, okay? So all of my grandparents thought that I was their child. Okay. So I had different variations of mom, the grandmother versus grandma. So one was mom, one was mine, and my mother was mom too, or mommy. So I had different variations of moms for them versus grandmother, where my kids, it's funny, so it's my mother, their father's mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. They all would say grandma, but they would add on the color of the door where they lived at. So it was grandma with the white house. When they talked about grandma with that white door, grandma with the green door. So they talked about their different grandmas.
Yeah, well, they were referring to them.
Referring to them. Oldest daughter gave my mother Grandma Cracker,
which I thought was so cute.
And then she gave my grandmother Grams.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had the different variations, and but whatever they choose, I'm gonna love it.
I like Grams. My cousin used to refer to our grandmother as Grams. My cousin in California, so I do like Grams. So I'm trying to think, like, when I do have grandkids, what do I want them to refer to me as? I'm not really sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know when I'm gonna be ready to be called somebody grandmama. I'm just keeping it a butt. Don't call me grandma. Don't call me granny.
What's the opposition to grandma or grand? Like, why didn't she want to be called grandma at first? And then why wouldn't you want to be called grandma? That variation of grandma.
So as it stands right now in my present state, if my kids were to have kids, I just don't feel like a grandma. So because I'm looking at it as you're like super old, you're super like, you're living more of a sedentary lifestyle. I've slowed down. This is my perception.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I've slowed down a bit. I'm not out here, doing my thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you can call me Grams.
That sound older than Grandma.
What's up? What up, Grams?
No.
What's up, Pop? That's
cool. I guess I don't feel that same way. I don't have that same sentiment that you have because grandparents today are a lot younger than what you thought they were back then. My vision in my head of when I became a grandmother was when I was going to be retired, right? Because I want to be able to spend time with them. I want to take them I want to give them experiences and stuff like that. Because, these parents, they're going to spoil their kids with all the unnecessary nonsense. So to teach them some traditions and stuff like that. Do I really want to be that old when I'm a grandma?
See, that was the difference for me. I was younger becoming a grandmother. So I was not in that mindset of being called grandma. I was too young. I was still living life. I'm living life now, but I was really hustling, bustling back then. I'm not nobody's grandmother. I didn't even look like nobody's grandmother.
Yeah.
You guys, on the other hand, are at that age where if you did become she's there, the
grandmas?
No, I beg to differ, bitch. Give me a chance to. Okay. I'm just much like a child. Go ahead. We find out.
We're at the age now where if it happened now versus 16 years ago, I would have been a little bit more comfortable with the way.
I hear,
which is how I'm getting there now.
Yeah.
But at
I still ain't sorry to worry.
8 at the time, I was too young.
No, you too. Yeah, you jam. Even now, like I'm about to turn 50. It's like grandma was
My grandmother and my mother was grandmas before they was 50. Both of them.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I made my mama a grandma before she's 50. But I just listen. My kids, they'll do what they're gonna do. Just know that if it happened tomorrow.
You gotta talk about the name they go on me.
No, wow, that's not what I was gonna say. If it happened tomorrow, just know that me and your daddy ain't prepared, cause we out here free, living and traveling. So, but I always say, and I still say, when it gets to the point, I believe, and even though my husband, he said, you keep saying that, but like in the summers, I would love to take the grandkids of all our children. And keep them. I keep saying for the summer because and the reason why I say that is I believe it's important for them to be with their significant others and their partners and have that alone time to pour into themselves and each other to rekindle whatever. Because throughout the whole year, you're hustling and busting with them kids. Me and my husband know what that is. So we could take plus it enables all. But listen, we got 4 kids. If they each have a kid, it enables us to bring the cousins together and do things. And so the other day it was funny. Yesterday, me and Rich were having this conversation again, and he was just like, "You keep saying that." Well, he said, "I'm gonna tell you right now, as I get older, I don't want to hear no. I can't take shit noise." He's like, "I can't take it. I can't." And I was dying because he can't. But we've never liked a noisy, unless it's music. Yeah, we never liked a noisy household. He's like, "I can't take the noise." And I said, "What you gonna be doing?" Telling him, "Sit your ass down. Go outside in that backyard." Come back in when the lights go down.
So I do notice now I can't handle the noise as much anymore.
Yeah, I was always like that. I was
Stop that hollering and crying.
No, when the kids was younger,
sorry, listening.
I allowed them to play and have good time. But as soon as when that sun went down, I was like, look, sit down. It's quiet time. I can't take all this noise right now. So if I was like that then, I know.
Yeah, I don't like a noisy yelling constantly. See that yelling in my house, we don't do that
and stuff. And,
If it's music, we good because our house we like music. Right. What to call me? I don't know. Definitely ain't Granny.
Granny like with the little brown glasses.
I just don't think I'm letting Brooklyn to know.
Yeah, I'm not stepping into that chapter. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that. Will I love my grandkids? Absolutely. They might just say, "What up, Shaq? What up, Key?"
So your kids don't hustle you buy your first.
I've been big.
They can't because they're gonna say "ma," but my grandkids, it's a different dynamic.
No, but still, no,
because they're not my kids.
Okay.
But see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then that goes back to the respect part where I grew up and I raised the kids to Mr., Mrs.
Yeah.
Nobody by their first name.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Dontrell's grandmother, everybody used to call her Frankie, and that used to drive me bananas.
But you can't let
that bother you. But I wouldn't let him call her that. It's grandma.
That's not right because what if she like?
But exactly.
No. That's her. See, I would be upset. No.
Didn't say anything about it. It was me and his father that used to argue about that.
That's a problem.
And it's a problem for me. My presence, do not call me.
I disagree.
First name.
I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why. That was an unnecessary argument. Hear me out. It was an unnecessary argument. Let me change the tables. Okay. If my son, either one of them, were to have a kid,
okay,
and if I preferred all my grandkids, let's say Bree already had one, now Miles is having one.
Okay.
Right? So now we already established that I'm Key. Mm-hmm. Kiki, whatever. That's what I want. If his significant other, Miles, like, I ain't calling, she can call you grandma. Who the fuck are you to tell me? Well, my grandkid, who are you? You dismiss, don't even come to my house. See, I don't play that. You can't tell me.
So the respect is...
It's respect. It's what I want. It's what I want.
She didn't like them calling her.
No, that just not used. So, no, now you put a different spin on it.
Hey,
you put a different spin on it.
Hey, with me correcting him when I used to say, don't call her free.
But she should have been, not you. Yeah. This is just my opinion, not you. Because you're overstepping boundaries. Like, if his father said, no, it's okay, let him have that argument with his mother. You see what I'm saying?
I don't
Not you.
know.
Why?
Because as his mother and how I'm raising him to be respectful to his elders,
It's
it
different.
don't matter that
I disagree.
she's a grandma. She was how old is
I disagree.
I think to level.
she was in her 80s. That right there in itself, you don't call a woman that age by her first name. I'm sorry. No one can sit here and tell me.
I think age is indifferent. I think at the end of the day, if she didn't like being called Frankie, I understand you checking your child to be respectful of adults, right?
Yes.
And that's all adults in general. So if this particular adult said call me Mr. and Mrs., and this particular adult says call me by my first name,
I agree with that.
then not.
I used to
Wait,
still-
I'm not finished.
Okay.
If that's what that person preferred, even though when you first introduced your child to this person that said call me by my first name as Mr., and they corrected both you and the child and say no, call me by my first name, then that's what you have to honor. The fact that she did not choose whether she liked it or did not like it, the fact that she chose to accept it was not your place to change it.
No, she didn't accept.
She did. You said that.
Yeah, she didn't have a problem with me correcting Don.
She had a problem with you correcting Dontrell, but she accepted people calling her Frankie.
Yes,
She did accept it.
she did accept it from other people, but when I corrected him, she didn't. She accepted it. She was all right with that.
No, but are you understanding her point where she's saying other people were calling the other grandkids were calling her, so she accepted it.
Yes,
She was okay with Frankie, and she might have been equally okay with you saying no. I could be called grandma too. But my point and what Jean is trying to say was if she didn't like it at all, she would have shut that shit down when the first grandkid came up and called her Frankie. So to me, what I'm saying is I understand your point, teaching kids how to respect their elders. To me, it's not about disrespecting tradition, but if in their household, and that's their culturally in their household, they're like, hey, what's up, Frankie? And that's what they do, the other grandkids, you got to respect that's a different household. So if his father was like, nah, he can call him Frankie, that's like, that is no different for me than me coming into my husband's household and they calling, oh, what's up, Bert? You see what I'm saying? If that's what they're doing, who am I to challenge that? I think that's an unnecessary, to me, it's arguing for no reason because it's your beliefs. Everybody else outside of his household, you're already teaching him how to respect. But in that household, she was okay with it. You see what I'm saying? You don't see it as that, but I don't. Well, it's a big point at this point.
because there was other people that corrected me and said, no, it's okay. She can call or they can call me this. And I'm like, no, in my presence, this is what they need to be.
But that's
as they get older, I may be inclined to allow it. But right now, I'm trying to teach my kids respect.
But that's not, and that's that person's choice. You're taking away that person's choice.
Yes, you are. And you can still teach them how to be respectful to adults, but also honoring what that person wants to be considered to. Because it's two things. It's not one or the other. But you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, you did it the way you did it. Yeah, we're just disagreeing. We don't have to agree. No. So it's all good. But I think it's, I disagree with it.
So, yeah. Question, we're not there yet, but for you, is being a grandparent more fun than being a parent?
Oh, yeah, because I can let them get away with bloody murder and she can't say shit.
Yes, she can.
No, she can't. Not she can.
See this? That's a problem.
Those are her children.
Hey, those are my grandbabies, son.
Those are her children.
But see, you they never challenged me, and neither with the boy.
And that's a problem. It's not about, I don't agree, yo.
So,
you bugging.
Or hey, what?
You say I'm going to teach them how to respect, but I'm not going to respect my child about her children.
So she used to make the comment, you did this for them and you never did this with me and my
different.
But this is the comment that she makes all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because they're not mine. I can send them home. Naturally, for them. No.
Naturally, grandparents do things differently than they did with their kids because of that same reason. They're not their child. But at the end of the day, if there's something specific that you don't like somebody to do or say to your children, if your daughter said to you, Ma, please don't do that. Or Ma, please don't give them this. You gonna do it anyhow?
Yeah, she hasn't. We haven't got.
No. That was posing a scenario. Never not what's happening in real life. If she said, I don't like when you do this, don't give them that. What you gonna do?
I guess because I've never been placed in that
No,
situation. I don't know, but
answer the question.
it all depends on what it is.
See, that's the wrong answer.
No, it's not.
The answer is I'm gonna honor my daughter as my child.
Let me tell you something. I couldn't be your daughter. You know my person. I'm like, now I am gonna say, bitch, get out, because I even call you bitch busy about mama. But I'm like, it's okay, nice having you here. No, we're not. That's too much. Yeah, that's too much because they're not your kids.
I know they're not my kids,
But
I get what you're saying.
I'm saying you guys,
But
that's
thank God, everything that I've taught her and my sons, I know that they're gonna use that raising their kids. The bedtime, that's about the only thing I have an issue with her about. Keeping them up until 10. That's her child. And I don't say anything. I don't.
As you shouldn't.
The one time that I did say something, she listened to me, but she still, as their mother, is gonna do. And so once she ignored that, I acknowledge it. I step back. I don't say anything else about it.
And see, that's something that's different. Like, so like, let's look at that same scenario.
Okay.
In her household, her kids go to bed whatever time she puts on the bed.
Yes.
When they come visit you, in your household, they go to bed what time I say they go to bed.
Exactly.
That's different.
Yeah. So that's your house. So the side of the dynamics that plays in that situation, even with Madison being 15, there's never been a time that I've done something that she didn't like because she knew that's how I raised her.
So you're not doing anything different with your grandkids that you did with your kids then. You're doing the same things pretty much.
I guess, yeah, because I never...
That's how you...
I still have that fear over them. Like when they see me, they know that I'm grandma. They don't challenge me where they would challenge their mother. But if I give them the look or if I say something, my daughter has never said, Ma, don't do that, because I'm not doing that. The only time I ever had to do something, we were at a restaurant. Major was acting up. I said something and she tried to challenge, saying, Ma, don't know. You need to teach and respect while we're in this restaurant.
That's something.
He needs to cut that out. Other than that, I've never been placed in a situation where I've said something and said, don't do that. And she's challenged me and said, Ma, I don't want you doing that with the kids. Because she actually uses me as the threat. Like if the kids start acting up when they did, oh, you going to your grandmother.
I don't agree with that. That's another.
Because she know that I'm more stern.
It's different parenting style.
Yeah, right. That's just as bad as saying raising your own father.
But that's how my mother and father did with me. My mother used to threaten to send me to Jamaica all the time.
But it's a different parenting style. Like I have a different parenting style than we all have different parenting styles. Right. For me, I just feel no one can tell no one, not their grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
No one can tell me how to raise and parent my kid. I don't even ask you for advice. I never asked anybody if something was going down. I figured the shit out on my own. It was me and my husband. And I did it. Yep. Now, luckily, growing up.
Think about what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
How I wanted to raise my kids.
Mm-hmm.
No one can tell me if I wanted them to respect and use the term.
I understand. But so where we differ is that, yeah, I still taught my kids how to greet people in the right manner. But if we went to this person's house and they said, no, his father, you're going against his father for no reason. Like if his own father said, call him Frankie, and that's his own mama, who am I to tell him no?
But there was dynamics behind why they called their grandmother. Nah.
Hear me out.
In that situation, they didn't show that woman respect. At least that's
her
opinion.
Yes.
Say, hey, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
You're piling onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all of that.
Okay.
He had cousins that call her Frankie. Okay? I don't care how they treated her, whatever. He had cousins that call her Frankie. She accepted that. She did not challenge it. His own father said, no, he didn't call him Frankie. If my husband said, you can call her Bert. If Dede and Champion were calling her Bert because Carl said it's okay.
Oh,
know that. Forget that. No, that's nothing. So you're going to argue with him for that, but you're wrong.
That's not his mother.
Who is you to tell him?
That's his mother and his children too. Those are his children too.
And what I'm trying to impart on you is that just because he's calling her by something that all the other cousins are calling does not make that you're not teaching him the right way of addressing people. That is their own household. I'm not going to challenge that.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you want him to call your mama grandma, that's fine. It's your mother. But what you're trying to do is change the dynamic of somebody else's household. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So where I'm saying, like, I wouldn't have challenged that. It just said, no, they're going to call her Bert. Then we good. Who am I to challenge? But in my mama, they used to when they were little, call her Grandma GiGi. I don't want to challenge what's going on in that nucleus in that family. I'm an outsider coming in. To me, that's like, it's too much. Like, so I still go back on the same thing. No one can tell me how to raise my kids except for, like I said, it's me and my husband. And if we weren't married, and you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to challenge because this, to me, like I said, it's an unnecessary argument. Who am I to tell him how to
See, the dynamic in that situation is also different because you're married. Then that definitely is. And that's no.
Oh, yeah, we don't see that. It's his family. That's what I'm saying.
That's my opinion. I'm entitled.
Yeah, no, you had to do it. I was like, disagree.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's like, so another example, when the kids went with their dad to his mom's house, they did whatever they did over there. That was done in their family time. I had no say. If it was something, as long as it was nothing egregious, nothing crazy. I had 2 things I ever had to address, and it was because I didn't allow them to have an enormous amount of sweets.
Yeah.
And she would pluck them with, like, bags of candy. Like, and then I didn't like toy guns. And I was like, could we not buy these? And I said that. He may have been present. And he knew how I felt. So he respected my feelings. They respected my feelings. But it was nothing where I was trying to change something about how he interacted with the kids, with his family, and vice versa. My family is very close. I was always around the family with my kids. And there was nothing to, like, you came around. Again, we're married. He's my husband. These are our kids, but this is my family. He's my husband. These are our kids. This is your family. And to me, we had to adjust or adapt given whatever situation we were in, and honor those people, how they moved. So
yeah,
again, sure, like you said, you're opinion, you're entitled to it.
Yeah.
But everybody has different things, and I just think, like, I would never try and change something that somebody else's family's dynamic. That's how they moved. That's how they moved. As long as it didn't hurt my kids in any kind of way.
First of all, my kids didn't just go over anybody's house anytime. I was really different, weird with that, right? So, but also too, I'm very quick, and still to this day, as you can see, I'm very quick to say, you know what, you do it your way, I'm going to do it my way. When it's my kids, this is how I'm rolling. But I'm also cognizant of we're blending families. So you have to understand. Well, what I mean by, like, they can't tell me how to do something with my kids. Like, if I am trying to discipline my kid in a way where, and this has happened. No, yes, but I would need that too strict. But I'm like, okay, I'm deemed this too strict. That's your opinion. I don't give a damn. He ain't going to the party, or shit ain't going. You know, you can talk it. Oh, just let him. No, it's not. That's my opinion. So stuff like that. But because that's my own household and my own nucleus. But I'm not going to change. Like, when they went over to their grandmother's house, I'm sure she fed them things that, you know, I didn't particularly care for. I'm sure, okay, the only way I'm going to know if they break out in something, and then if they had, like, allergic reactions, I wouldn't already say, hey, this person can have fish or whatever. Luckily, my kids, knock on wood, didn't have those days. But I would say, don't give them fish because it's an allergic reaction. You have grandmothers to be like, these new grandkids, they just new minds don't know. And then next thing you know, fish, they want in their hospital. Yeah. Then I have to, you know, be like,
that's a different story.
Complete. But that it does happen. I know. And I'd be like, from then I would have to have a conversation with the dad and be like, they're never going over your house again. Iceland, you know, point period. She said,
never ever in life.
Because, and then I'm gonna be honest, I would have to have a conversation with her. I'm not leaving it up to him. I'm talking to your mom. Listen, told you, and you decided to disobey me. Yeah. And I'm using those where you disobey me, not your kid.
Right. And that's why I said there's certain things that you talk to your spouse about. Like, I don't like how this went down. I'm going to address it. And I need you to have my back. And as they should, because those are your children. Yeah. And you have to be on the same page against everybody.
Now, let's talk about the discipline thing, right? Okay. So here's the thing, and I stress this, like, I think today's grandma is different from yesteryear's grandma. When I become a grandma, like, I'm still in the travel. I'm still brunching. Today's, like, a person in their 50s right now could be popping, snatching waistlines, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different dynamic. So I think it's okay to change what the traditional aspect is and create a new norm.
My kid's going to brunch with me. My grandkids going to brunch with me.
Oh, yeah, we're going to teach, because I believe in bringing kids to. So I used to tell you how to behave out. Yeah, I used to bring them out all the time, and that was the right challenge. You know, because then they learn how to be not jumping around on tables and shit. So you sit them down. Like, that's not how we do it. And then you start it in the house. Yes. Right? Yeah. You're sitting at the table. You know, so they don't be acting crazy in the restaurant. You know, sit down here, we eat. And if you can't do that, then maybe it's not time for you to eat.
And that's an instance where it is
little things that you do.
That was an instance I didn't think you were wrong in trying to try and chastise your grandchild with your daughter. That's different because y'all out in public. It's gonna be one day where she gonna be like, today she be like, oh, it's okay, and tomorrow she gonna be like, yeah, this ain't
Never had no problems with him every day, right?
So yes. Yeah, it's certain things like in that respect but also
where she challenged me was he was sitting next to her, and a few times that I opened my mouth and told him to stop, he would just look at me, but then start that whining, looking at her.
Let's set the precedent. How old was he?
At the time, he was 5.
Oh, okay.
So after the third time, yes. Yeah. After the third time, I said, no, he's coming to sit next to me. And she challenged, said, no, he doesn't know. I want him over here now because if I got to get up and take him to the bathroom, is going to be an issue. I need to laugh. I am. And she finally got up and let him come. And Champion and Dontrell got up and he came and sat in between us. And for the rest of the time, he tried to do the whining one more time, trying to go up underneath the table. And I pinched him. And I said, if I got to do that again, we're getting up and we're going to the bathroom. And he would look at me. And then for the rest of the time, he held his head down until the French fries came. Once the French fries came, it seemed like and for the rest of the time we were there, he behaved. But that was the only time she challenged me. Yeah. She didn't want him to come sit next to me because she knew.
Yeah, I guess it was a learning lesson for her.
But ever since then, she didn't have no problems with him in the restaurant no more.
Yeah. I guess for me, I never needed anybody to discipline my kid.
Yeah. Same.
Never. Not nobody. Say I'm the one that's going to do it. I don't need and I mean anybody. You just didn't, mom on his mom.
I agree.
And they never did anything where it required that because
every time she kept saying it, what I'm saying is wasn't listening.
No. But here's what I say, because I already did the discipline. Yes. By the time we got out, they were good. We do.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So we already had the conversation. No, you're not going to act. We're not. This is not what we do at the table.
Yeah.
So it was never a thing. I never needed anybody to do that.
No, I have to say I was blessed that way too. I always got compliments with compliments with my kids.
She just has to put in the work. Yes, it. You know what I'm saying? To be like, and
it's gotten better now where she's going to have to repeat herself when she's out in public. But this was to take none times, official time going to a nice restaurant. We was in City Island.
Yeah.
It was tables, you know how it goes. So I needed him to understand we're going to continue to do this. You can't be acting like this while we're out as a family.
Yeah.
And I guess that was her first time to be.
Your coloring books and all this shit.
That usually get the call. Keep them busy.
Sit your ass down and put these colors but you got to also too. Well, at 5, maybe still at 5 it's a little different, but still it's like talking to them. Okay, what did you draw? What did show me what you did? Engaging, because when you do that engagement, you're giving them that attention.
Yeah.
They won't feel like, oh, this shit is bored. Let me go climb.
I guess because we were all talking and they weren't engaged. That we was going up because we weren't.
You want some attention.
Is the thing. And I see all that. Hey, these mofos is ignoring me. Not that he acting like that.
These big people ignoring me.
Yeah.
But again, that was up to her. She needed more experience in having them out to know you need to be able to.
That was the first experience, so I look at it that way.
Yes,
but now she's always posting how they go out to restaurants and how and they all sitting there. They order their nice,
Grandma done taught them, son.
So she enjoys taking them out on big family dinners now.
Yeah, I think there's a different challenge. And again, I'm not a grandmother, but I imagine that it's a different way in interacting with your kids, your grandkids, as opposed to your kids, because, and I had a note down here, because as a mom, especially when you have them young, you're focused on survival, right? So you're focused on putting food on the table, discipline, keeping them alive, making sure they got noise. You front the ladder.
I know.
Yeah. Especially when I say having them, because I had them young.
Yeah.
But as a grandmother, you have the opportunity to enjoy them, and you're slowing down right now, right? So it's a lot of love.
Maybe slowing down.
No, but what I mean by that is it's not a survival thing. It should.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not that.
Not survival. So now it's less pressure. One of the things I just want to stress is I'm just big on this as a grandmother.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm undermining the parent.
Right. Yeah.
It's their responsibility. Now, I think my kids know, both my husband and I, enough to know we're not going to tolerate no unruly kids. I can't tolerate unruly kids when they're not raising.
When they're not even your kids.
I can't. I can't. You know what? I just thought about it.
Yeah.
They probably will call me baby cakes. That's my go-to. Baby cakes.
It's okay.
That's my go-to.
My compromise was with Dontrell. As time went on, it was Grandma Frankie. He just didn't blatantly call her Frankie. And no one challenged it anymore. No one said anything.
Yeah.
It was just that initial conversation because that just was mind-blowing to them. How everybody was calling this 80s. I think she was 86.
Didn't matter the age.
And I get it, but at that time, that just bothered me.
Even now, sitting with us as we're talking, how you get it. As you were fighting me.
No, but I'm still not going to change my mind on that.
Yeah, because then I don't think.
Because he wasn't, no, I get what you're saying. But I'm still on I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, again.
I just can't.
So
I'm not going to change that. That's how my father and mother instilled in me, and that's how I've always been.
We were raised that way as well. So it's something that, it's one of those things that you carry on, right?
So would you have your kids having a problem calling you Kiki?
Versus they didn't call me fucking, no, my kids is different. But I would check it. Frankie didn't check it.
She said her kids can't, but her grandkids
even now
could.
Adults, if one of them was to call you
In a joking manner,
they wouldn't. Because that's not what I said. I didn't say that. No, but no, you did not know you're not getting my point.
I got your point there. I'm just asking. Okay.
No, here's the thing.
Okay.
The reason why I say no, you didn't get my point because of the example that you just used. It's two different examples. This is my kids. They will call me mom. I already set that precedent.
I know you set the precedent.
So sometimes they actually do call me Shakina, Shakira. They do. And I laugh and I joke. Like, literally, Bree would be like, okay, Shakina.
in a joking manner.
And if she does that, and she obviously, my name's not Shakina, but she will use the N because they would always screw up when they send and solicit an email and they put I guess they thought it was instead of an R, they could have N. So she'll say, okay, Shakina or Shakira. So Bria, for years, has done that. It doesn't bother me. It's a joking way. But she knows she's going to call, hey, Ma. I don't get caught up on things that to me is like trivial in that respect. But I still stand like I'm not going to disrupt if I say now, I'm put on a damn podcast, then my grandkids going to call me baby cakes. And that's what I choose. Right? If any one of their significant others say, no, they have to call you grandma. I'm like, well, take your kid and get the fuck out. Because I said,
They gonna call me
baby cakes. And I expect them, again, it's an unnecessary argument between, then to me, it's unnecessary. It's like, who are you to tell if Bria says, no, she wants baby cakes. And her husband is like, oh, I've never heard of that. This should be grandma. And I'm just like, I expect it's unnecessary. Who are you to tell her what I want the kid to call me?
nice.
Who are you to tell
You just tell me what I want the kid to call me.
It's insane to me.
perfect example now is there with Dede. Had she had corrected Madison and calling me grandma versus me wanting her to call me Mima, and she wanted her to say, no, you're calling her grandma,
What are you gonna do?
I wasn't going to check her on that.
Okay. That's your belief, though.
Because that's what I've instilled in her. She knows that the kids can't, especially around me, call anybody by their first name. So now if I said, no, I don't want to be called grandma, I want to be called Mima, and she says, no, you're going to call her grandma, I'm not going to challenge her on that because that's her.
That's because what you instilled and what you did.
Exactly.
But that's your household. I'm talking about you stepping into someone else's environment and they want them to be referred to.
But she's checking them in my household.
It's a challenge dynamic.
How?
Because you already taught her that she knows. You, in this instance,
it's like
into their fact.
it's the same thing. She checked it the same way as Miss Frankie didn't
check it.
Frankie didn't check it. You accepted it the same way that Miss Frankie accepted it. I'm gonna call her Miss Frankie because I don't know the lady.
And she's not here.
And she's not here.
God bless you, Miss Frankie.
Yes.
She accepted it. So the same way if Day said, no, you call her grandma and you said, okay, you accepted it.
You accepted not the Mima. But in
You didn't make her go with what she wanted. Exactly.
But you were forcing Don Shuttley. You. And then here you arguing and y'all probably went home arguing. He was like, this bitch.
We ain't gonna tell me how my kid can call my mother.
You know, for real talk, and I'm just being, you know how I am. My son's like, Ma, could you believe she won't let, I told him to call him baby case. I said, you need to leave her ass. You would tell him to leave her? So he's laying a foundation That's a foundation. She can't even accept my own thing.
She said that's a violation.
No. But it's because that to me is the undercurrent of y'all arguing over trivial shit.
You gonna tell them to leave her there?
I'm like, she ain't the one.
Oh.
And I'm like,
She got the lead. Why you having kids with her? You
exactly. I said, you're gonna have a lifetime of hell because she's got maturing to do. She doesn't understand that this is the dynamic of this household.
Exactly.
She could do what she wants in her. Like I would honestly say like she's not flexible. And it's a compromise and
don't mean the label being latched.
because to me I'm like this is bigger ish like
It can lead to bigger things. That's something that's not making skill.
but it tells me you're not being flexible enough. It's compromise in a relationship. You argue over this trivial shit. You're gonna be arguing over dumb shit.
It's not big enough. It's not worth it. Yeah. No, I see your point. I see your point.
Leave her.
I'm just on the leave her part. Okay.
I'm just joking. She can come around, but call me baby case.
Or don't you come bring your child without her. Robert.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, I don't
Drop the baby off, y'all leave.
I would say you're gonna have a lifetime of stress. Why? Anyway.
Things that you did with your kids when they were young that you would do with your grandkids that you think is important to carry on.
The first thing is talking about family history.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And cooking. Cooking was a way of all of us.
Mm-hmm. But I think for me, the first is so they understand the lineage and remember our ancestors, to remember our people that allowed us to have things. I think it's very important to instill that knowledge and tell those stories.
One of the things that I did with my kids, because it was a part of the survival stuff, but it was a part of like not staying cooped up in the house. We would go in the park.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because my mother did this with me. She would take us to the park and we have a picnic or whatever. She'd pack stuff. We would sit in the park and just sit there and we'd run around in our little circle because our eyes had to stay close on them. Definitely brunching. We brunching.
Do you think you'll be the one that's like the soft place to land, the one who gives the real talk, the one
taking them on cultural trips to make sure that they know their roots?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. My mother was that for my kids, and I plan on being that for my grandkids. Yeah,
I think so too. I can't help but give the real talks. I'm gonna hear that real talk. Yeah, but at the same time, I will do it in a way where I cannot undermine their parents.
Right.
Anybody coming into our nucleus and our circle, my expectation is that my kids is gonna tell them this is how my parents are. Like they're gonna have to know. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm gonna give you the real deal. Is becoming a grandparent a second chance at doing things?
Oh yes.
But shouldn't hold is a second chance of doing things you wish you did differently the first.
Yes. I'm a strong believer in that. This is my do-over. That's why it is always making that comment. You doing things with her and you never did that with us.
I don't look at it as a do-over. I look at it as you have a different experience, right? Because it's a different time. You're in a different space. You had
but don't live when I became.
It ain't no booklet now.
Now.
But you know things that you didn't know then. So I don't necessarily look at it as a do-over. I just look at it as a different experience.
Okay. I could take that.
Okay. Do you think today's generation of parents actually want their parents involved, or are they keeping them at arm's length?
No, they want them involved.
I think it's a half and half. I think it's cultural.
Yeah.
You had your community, right?
Okay.
Everybody helped, even in our culture, but not so much on the north. Like in the south and stuff, the mamas, the aunts, the aunties, everybody helped.
Yeah.
Not necessarily happen here, but in other cultures, their parents fly to their home and come and stay with them and live with them for months.
Yeah.
And help them with their kids.
Oh, yeah.
They go back home, right? In different cultures.
Yes, they do.
So I think it depends on culture. And I think it depends on how the dynamics of the relationship is, And so I lived with my mother for the first 6 months that I had my son. It wasn't easy because I was afraid of everything. It was my first. And nothing she can tell me, even though I knew she was a mom and she raised me and she did the best that she could, I still had fears because there was different fears than probably what she had, that it was not comforting. So we used to have like she used to tell me, Nene, take your son. I ain't going to break him. I was like, she used to like try to get his leg in a little onesie. And I'm like, Mom, you going to hurt? She's like, nah, I'm not going to break it. Yeah. So like, I knew that I couldn't live with her raising my child. We had the best of friends, but not raising children, right? So
I looked at that question differently because I played a traditional grandma.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
In terms of, we're already speaking to the actual next question. So can I ask you, and I want you to answer it, because it said, do you feel like the grandmother title comes with a stereotype? And are we fighting to shift that? So answer the question and also weaving that.
And so now, the big thing between me and Dede is she wants
What's
to
the
be.
traditional grandma?
The kids are coming and staying with you all the time. You taking over while the mother gets to run around, or the parents get to run around and do whatever, and the kids are always at the grandparents' house.
That's not traditional grandma.
That is a traditional. The older generation, that's where the kids used to be at all the time, at grandma's house.
Not like not in the way you're
They
saying
spent
it.
more time with the grandparents than they did with their own.
That was
parents.
irresponsible parenting. Sorry.
That's where I'm going with this.
Let's hear it.
So I appreciated when my father used to make the phone call, or when my mom used to say, pack some stuff, they could come stay with me for. You didn't have to ask me twice.
Yeah.
Because I didn't look for them to babysit. I didn't look for anybody to babysit. My kids can never say they weren't with me everywhere I went, no matter what I was doing. So when that was my time to hang out when they used to stay.
I think that's why I question your statement of the traditional grandparent.
My daughter, she's under this impression that they're supposed to be with me all the time. I'm supposed to go out my way to go grab them and do. No, I'm doing my grandmother duties. I come and take them when I want them. And when I'm ready to send them back, you better be available. Don't be ditching me or ignoring my phone calls.
And I say, to me, that's more of a traditional grandparenting style is, okay, either mom or dad, can you watch the kids because I have X, Y, and Z going on there? Or grandparents saying, I want to spend time with my grandkids. I feel like you said, I feel like you guys need some time to get back to yourselves. Bring the kids over. My mother was like that too. It was on her terms.
Yeah.
But the newfound grandmothers now, the kids are expecting grandma to hold them and keep them all the time while they continue to run the streets. And I'm not doing that because she throws at me all the time.
So certain generals where I have it in it's her
With my friends keep the kid, they always with their grandmother. Why you can't be like that? Why you can't do the same? Because I'm not doing that. I have a life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion
Go ahead.
is that so critics of certain modern names sometimes feel that overly creative variations lose the connection to traditions and cultural heritage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends. So like I think it goes, certain cultures are going to hold true to the traditional variation of grandma. And certain ones are going to adapt, and that's okay. Whatever works.
Yeah. What you want.
Yeah.
The person.
Absolutely.
Okay. You got any fun facts?
Fun facts. The grandparent effect. Studies suggest that having involved grandparents can lead to better emotional and social development in children, providing them with a sense of security and belonging.
Yeah.
Grandparents often share stories from their own lives or family history, creating a rich tapestry of experiences and lessons that can be passed down through generations.
Do you think Big Mama gone forever?
No.
See, I mean, she's laughing at me. But it's a real question.
Just like Big Mama's playing Big Mama.
I ain't Big Mama. I'm not in that sense. You know, I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm gonna give it to you real, but I don't know. Maybe she's still here. So I just argue that she's not.
So when you say Big Mama, what you mean, like me and Chuck grandma?
The whole thing wearing the big ass fucking boots.
Oh no, we not doing that. No, it's just that attitude part.
Wearing that thing, cooking up that food. On Sunday, you could go to her house to get that good meal.
On Sunday maybe, but I ain't cooking during the week.
Wait. They having problems with me out
every Sunday.
Mm-mm.
But I'll cook. No, I think some traditions just still happen. So like, now I'm not seeing it term a bit. No, I think we walking around in a nice, fancy, casual either.
I can't outfit. I think Richie be what the hell you got?
Yeah, I think you walk around in the casual outfits. They have the kimonos and all that kind of stuff. We looking nice out here.
Yeah.
But we still giving that Big Mama energy.
Because I will boil a pot of hot grits for my grandbaby from man acting up.
Wait. Get over there.
That's Big Mama energy. She was the one that bought some.
That was Medea.
That's Medea.
It still don't matter, but she gave the crazy grandmama.
Okay.
The one that was bothered by her grandbaby.
Well, I never forgive her. My grandma had to she had to check a couple of booze a couple of times. So, not with the pots of grits, but she met them at the door.
See, with that energy, I'll probably say in her face, she ain't the one for you. But I think some kids know that. Anybody that they're bringing in,
okay,
they have to have thick skin. we are a joking family,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it could get real. Know my husband, he going right get under your skin, and you have to be able to take it. So if you're sensitive, you won't survive.
Yeah.
Now we'll taper ourselves.
Damn, she said you will not survive.
Well, you're gonna your feelings like it's like we joke around so much, and it's like if you can't take it, we joke around, but we have fun, and
Okay.
we need somebody who has thick skin,
Not for the weak.
because you can't be like, oh, fuck out of here. All right. On that note, if you have grandkids, tell us what you think. Like, are you the traditional sense in a grandmother or grandfather? Or are you the new wave? Are you changing the narrative and what it means to be a grandparent? Do you keep them kids all the time? Or are you tired of keeping them damn kids?
Are you cruising with the kids, with the grandkids?
Yeah. Let us know. Drop it in the comments.
Yes.
Till next time.
Peace.